She knows what happened. I know what happened. And we know that what you're saying and what the alleged things and the alleged accusations of my name is are not true.
Shut the fuck up when shit don't have nothing to do with you. Stop fucking talking. When some shit don't need to be talked about.
Tory Lanez is back in the news again, and for the exact reason you would think. That being said, things are getting more complex than anyone would have guessed. It seems the case isn't quite as cut and dry as most people would assume at first glance. Pretty much everyone assumed that the case would be open and shut, but that's not quite the way it's turning out. So why did Tory get arrested? And what does he have to say about all this to Megan? It all started when Tory Lanez and Meg Stallion started hanging out. Exactly what they were doing when they were hanging out remains a mystery. A lot of fans speculated that they were dating since they spent so much time together during quarantine, but neither of them came out and said that they were an item. Either way, one night in June, things went wrong. Some people think that there was a secret breakup, and other people think there was just an argument. But after attending 2 parties together, Lanez and Meg got into a car together with a couple of other people. Before the end of the ride, Meg sustained an injury to the back of her heel, resulting from a round being discharged in the car. 2 other people were in the car. For a long time, the agreed upon way things went down was that Tory was the one who sent the shots. While it sounds very much like Tory was targeting Megan because he was upset about how things went, there are countless narratives about what could have actually went down in the car. Some people think that maybe Tory was trying to protect Megan from someone, some people think that someone else pulled the weapon out, and some people believe pretty much any crazy theory you could possibly throw out there. Meg, on the other hand, has been completely transparent about how she feels about the incident. She claims that Tory attacked her, and that's just what it is. Tory denies the whole thing, pleading not guilty in the case. As a result of what happened, the judge ordered that Tory stays away from Meg, doesn't try to contact her, and doesn't talk about any of what happened on social media. Meg really hasn't slowed down on the whole thing though. Just a few days after everything happened, she took to Twitter to make statements. She said, "I suffered gunshot wounds as a result of a crime that was committed against me and done with the intention to physically harm me. I was never arrested. The police officers drove me to the hospital where I underwent surgery to remove the bullets. I'm incredibly grateful to be alive and that I'm expected to make a full recovery, but it was important for me to clarify the details about this traumatic night. I was never arrested. This whole experience was an eye-opener and a blessing in disguise. I hate that it took this experience for me to learn how to protect my energy." She was essentially saying that she shouldn't have been messing around with Tory in the first place, and it took something this crazy for her to see that. She also said,
"Yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie? I don't understand. I tried to keep the situation off the internet, but you dragging it. Motherfuckers talking about I hit this nigga. I never hit you. Motherfuckers was like, oh, she mad because he was trying to fuck with Kylie. No, I wasn't. Like, you dry shot me."
As the case continues, things are only looking worse and worse for Tory Lanez. One of the main issues is that someone had been spreading misinformation. It's unclear whether that's Lanez's legal team or if it's just some fans who really don't want to see Tory put away. As it stands now, if Tory is actually convicted, he's going to end up doing around 22 years in jail. The first time doubts started to be raised about some of the information that was sent out back in 2021. Apparently, someone created an email impersonating Kevin Long, an exec at Megs label. Whoever created the email started sending out false information to various media outlets, claiming that Meg didn't want to press charges and wouldn't testify against Lanez in court. A person behind the account also fabricated text message change between Lanez and Meg. While this seems like a really dumb idea, it did at the very least end up muddying the waters and making it harder for people to find out what was really going on. Of course, Lanez and his team refute that they had anything to do with the emails being sent out. Lanez ran into another issue when he performed at Rolling Loud. Since there was a restraining order against him, he wasn't supposed to be anywhere near Meg the Stallion, who went right on after the baby set. Tory Lanez was also there, dangerously close to when Meg was set to take the stage. An anonymous source near the festival reached out to the local police department to point out that Tory might be violating his restraining order, but for whatever reason, the police never followed up on it. Meg's reaction to all of this was pretty heated. She pointed out multiple times on her social media and in interviews that she thinks there is essentially a war on black women. She thinks that Lanez and his legal department are trying to defame her character by running running a smear campaign. If they can muddy the waters enough and paint her to be some insane liar, she doesn't have much of a case. Her manager said, "We've been made aware of manipulated text messages and invented email accounts that have been disseminated to the media in a calculated attempt to peddle a false narrative about the events that occurred on July the 12th. A smear campaign can't change the truth." Pretty recently, at the end of February, DJ Academics made a post on Twitter saying that it had come out in court that none of Tory's DNA had been found on the weapon. Either due to misinformation, lazy reporting, or a concerted effort to make Tory look better, DJ Academics took that idea and ran with it. That is until Meg called him out for it. Most ridiculous part of this whole situation is that the tweet was made before the court proceedings officially even started. Meg said, "Y'all got breaking news 15 minutes before court even started, and nobody has even been called in yet? Y'all trying to win social media campaign. This is my real life. Y'all trying to get retweets spreading false narratives." Then again, at the same time, Meg had just been spreading a teeny bit of her own misinformation. At one point, she published text chains from her phone, which she claimed contained direct evidence that Tory Lanez apologized for what happened in the car. Tory was quick to shut that down and said that he is actually apologizing for an argument they'd had. A lot of people were talking about the plea deal that Lanez might be considering for a while, but those talks never actually came to fruition. While they might have been talking about a plea deal, that doesn't necessarily mean he was thinking about taking one. His legal team made a statement saying, "As in every case, the lawyers of the parties discussed possibility of resolving the case. This case is no different. That said, our position as to what did and did not happen in this matter remains unchanged." That means for right now, Tory Lanez is sticking to the whole not guilty plea. Tory's also talking about what went down in some music of his. In the track Money Over Fallouts, he goes into his feelings in detail. He spits, "One umbrella gang, and when we come back, don't you try reppin' for I let them breathe. I gotta teach a couple lessons, gotta see a couple questions. How the f you get shot in your foot? Don't hit no bones or tendons. How the f your team is trying to paint me as some whole menace? I just lost like $10 million because of this cold business, but I got like 10 million followers that's gonna roll with me, fans that support me because they know my heart." When the track came out, tons of fans were ready to jump at Tory, but he put the song out pretty shortly after the incident, and tons of people thought it was a super tone deaf of him to release a track like this. On the other hand, a lot of his fans running with this weird conspiracy theory narrative in the comments. Like, people are straight up accusing the music industry and YouTube of coming together to get the views on the video frozen. Other fans really just don't care about the situation. One fan said, "Industry trying to do my man's dirty for going independent, speaking out against the industry and the powers that be. God has the final call always." Another fan said, "Honestly, I'm wondering why this humiliation ritual? This happened right after Tory said he was gonna expose the music industry. Something ain't adding it. I love Meg, but something's strange about this whole thing. Why would this man intentionally shoot her? He has too much to lose. It could have been an accident. I don't know what this whole Illuminati thing is about. It's not that deep." Tory also put out a new track recently, once again speaking on the whole thing. The song is called Cap, and while it's pretty short, he talks about Partisan Fontaine, Meg's current boyfriend. The two of them had a big back and forth over on Twitter, and it doesn't seem like Tory's too happy about it. Partisan tweeted, "Tory Lanez, put the phone down, let's link. You and me, ain't nothing to talk about." Tory replied saying, "We've had this encounter. You did nothing. Put your phone down, big fella." On April 5th, Tory finally had his next court trial. I think it's pretty safe to say that it didn't go the way he was hoping. He wasn't actually convicted of the crime or anything. However, he did get in a little bit of trouble. The judge decided that he was talking directly to Meg in a tweet he made, referring to her as "you." That was enough to count as a violation of Tory's restraining order, so his bail was set to $350,000, and he was arrested in the courtroom. He was in jail just for a little bit before he made bail and got released. What do y'all think of all this though? Is Tory capping hardcore, or is he just trying to save his reputation? Is he really in the middle of a concerted attack by the music industry, or will he just not face up to the consequences of his actions? Let us know what you think in the comments, and keep it RIZZLE. Oh, and Def Peep this next video if you like this one.